Hi everybody, Coach Allison back with Defy Aging Week 31 video to run through with you. Week 31 has 2 circuits, both with 4 exercises, and everything is timed 40 seconds on and 30 seconds off, and you're going to run through each circuit 3 times. What's different this week is one circuit is all lower body and one circuit is all upper body. So that'll be a little change from our usual mix. Let's run through the exercises. Okay, exercise 1 for our upper body circuit is a band anti-rotation overhead press. I know it sounds a little confusing. So the band will be anchored to one of the racks about chest height, doesn't really matter, somewhere in this height. And we're going to turn to the side. So the band is anchored to my right. You want to step out until it starts to feel a little challenging, like you can feel like it's kind of wanting to pull you back in. You're going to grip, you're going to have to overlap the grip with your hands here. And we're going to press that band up and bring it down. The goal here is to keep the arms nice and level. I know the camera's not directly in front of me, but sometimes what wants to happen with this is kind of the arms going at a weird angle. Try to go very strictly up, very strictly down. So you have resistance pulling you back in that you need to fight, and you also have, as you get higher and higher, you're activating those shoulder muscles more and more. So that is our band anti-rotation overhead press. Next exercise in the upper body circuit, SubScap back pull. Okay. So when we do a back row, arms are straight and we pull back, bending those elbows, right? Squeezing the shoulder blades together. So this is a play off of that. It's actually very different. And it's going to be hard to keep your arms straight, which is what we want to do because we're conditioned to bend the elbows, to flex the elbow. So arms are straight. Band is anchored on the rack once again. We keep those arms straight and we retract the shoulders, squeezing the shoulder blades together and then release. So I know when you get to about here, your elbows are going to want to bend. We don't want to allow that to happen. So I want you to pretend you have like a cast on your arm, keeping your arm straight. And again, it's hard to see maybe from this angle, but retract the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Don't bend the elbows. So it is a very small movement. Okay, so maybe if I get a little closer with no band though, watch my back, my upper back, pulling those shoulder blades together, retracting the shoulders. Notice how my arms aren't bending at the elbow. That one takes a little practice, a lot of focus, so give it a try. Okay, our next one, it's a little bit of cardio mixed with our upper body, around the world medicine ball slam. So we have a side-to-side medicine ball slam that we've done, and we have the standard right in the middle. We're going to just kind of keep going around the world. So what I mean by that is we slam it on one side. Notice how when I'm getting ready to go to my right side, I'm pivoting my opposite foot to help me get that turn. So slam on the right side, then slam in the center, now slam on my left. Center, right, center, left. Hair in my mouth. The pivot is very important. It helps you get a better range of motion. So we're actually kind of turning the body with that pivot. Think of a golf swing. I don't play golf, but you know, when you swing a golf club, you pivot at the foot there. So that is our medicine ball around the world slam. Okay, last exercise, one that everybody is familiar with, a plank hold, standard low plank on the elbows and the toes. If you are at that point of being able to do it with the toes, make sure to keep your hips level, elbows directly under shoulders. We want to look out for high hips here. Okay, so hips level. Feel free to place those knees down. And if you place the knees down, make sure your hips are still level. However, we want to make sure we're not doing this because this is not really activating those core muscles. Feel free to take those arms up onto a bench so you are on an incline, and that is an option as well. Okay, lower body circuit, first station. Step up with a knee drive. So for this exercise, one foot stays on the box the whole time. And of course, you can use any height box that's appropriate for where you're at. We have all different options for that. One leg stays up here. I'm taking my other leg, driving the knee up and coming down. We want to add some speed to this, however, so try it slowly a few times to get the feel for it. You want to drive it up and bring it down, and you're kind of like just 1/2 second on the floor, pushing back up, drive the knee up. You're really going to feel that stationary leg. Halfway through the set, we'll switch legs. That's relatively advanced. A great way to work up to that is doing a step up to a high knee. Taking out that speed, however, and that momentum. Okay. Step up to a high knee. When you feel ready from that, feel free to take it to that step up knee drive. You can move your stepper or your box near one of our racks or the wall to kind of place your hand on it for some added stability if that makes you more comfortable. Okay, next exercise, weighted hip bridge. We do hip bridges quite often. We had them last week in our ladder routine. We're gonna add a weight to make it a little more advanced. So if you feel ready for the weight, try this. If not, you can do this like we did last week without the weight. So you're gonna take a dumbbell and you wanna put it somewhere on your hips where it's relatively comfortable. Obviously we don't want it pressing on your belly, so don't put it on your actual stomach. And if, watch out for the hip bones. So find a comfortable place there. You will have to keep your hands on it because when you lift your hips, you do not want the weight to roll down onto our shin, right? Okay, so you're adding that weight. So now you're not just lifting your hips, you're lifting some weight along with it. So press the feet evenly into the floor. You don't want to be pressing with just your heels. We don't want to be pressing with just the toes. Even pressure with the feet. Get a little pause at the top. And that is our weighted hip bridge. And an alternate for that, if perhaps maybe getting down to the floor isn't something you are into, we're going to do a kettlebell deadlift. That is a great alternative for that exercise because it's the same muscle groups. So kettlebell in both hands, sink your hips back, hinging at your hip, and keep a nice soft bend in the knee. So we don't want too much bend, but we don't want them straight. So a soft bend in the knee. Very important to have that back flat, not arched and rounded like that. So that is your alternate option instead of the weighted hip bridge. Okay, team, goblet squat. We do this quite often as well. You've got a kettlebell. You're gonna hold it up like this. You can either hold it at the handles, we call this by the horns, or you can kind of hold the bell, really whatever is comfortable. Some people actually like to hold bell up, which does kind of actually work your muscles differently. So play around with it, whatever you prefer. Keep it chest height, but not pressed against the body. So a little bit out in front, not way out here, just not pressed against the body. And feet are hip width apart. We're gonna sink into a normal form squat, normal position squat. Sit back, sink those hips back like you're sitting into an imaginary chair. I wanna make sure the knees don't protrude forward. Now, wanna make sure that kettlebell though doesn't pull us down like this. So instead of this, keep your chest up a little and keep the weight up. So the weight should always be right in front of your chest. That's our goblet squat. Last exercise, a lateral. Oh, my hair did something weird. Lateral in, out steps. Now we do the in, out steps forward quite often. This is quite different. So we want to step each foot inside of each box and then outside. But we're going to move laterally. That means sideways. So what's important here is whatever direction you're going. So I'm going to my right. You want to lead with that foot and have that foot be the leader. Otherwise, you're going to get all tripped up over your feet like that. So I'll show you what this looks like. Going to my right, so I'm stepping in with my right foot first. In, out. And as I'm doing that, I'm also going down, so one rung at a time. So start here. When you get more comfortable with the movement, oops, I started with the wrong foot. Look at that. You want to add some speed. So you're staying on the balls of the feet. That is what helps to start building the agility, staying on the balls of the feet. I'll go the other direction. Now I'm leading with my left foot because I am going to my left. In, out. In, out. In. See, notice how I'm keeping a slight bend in my knees, never letting my heels slam on the floor. Remember, staying on the balls of the feet does not mean staying on your tiptoes. So I'm not on my tiptoes like this, okay? I feel like I had something else to say about that, but I don't. So you'll just go for the 40-second set. You'll just go down and back. So you'll go right, left, and that is our in, out lateral agility ladder. Okay, everybody, that is our week 31 Defy Aging, and we'll see you back next week for week 32.